All right, legends, how's everybody doing? Let's see how many people we are in. Over 100 people watching. Make sure to destroy the like button, guys. We're going to discuss the scenarios here for Bitcoin. Getting a bit of a dumpy right now, but we are going to swing failure pattern from the lows here that we did create. We're going to back test it and we're going to V-shape recovery. I'm really skeptical on this scenario, guys. I'm not going to bet on it. I would rather miss the long position. I don't like this double bottom. I don't like the liquidity grab, and I don't see the price getting that bounce, to be honest. But I'll explain why. I'm going to explain my theory that I do believe that we are going to go to lower levels. And I hope that you enjoy today's live stream with education. So let's go right away through the comment section. Make sure to destroy the like button, guys, on your way in. Absolutely destroy it. Only 10 likes, over 100 people watching. We're going to go through the pure technical analysis and explain why we are dropping from here. Isn't this a great level for a swing failure pattern? Shouldn't we try to catch this liquidity grab? Because it's happened here. We got an epic bounce. It's happened here as well, right? Shouldn't these liquidity grabs be a good opportunity? Most of the times they are. Most of the times they are, right? You claim that low and you get a really nice fat bounce, right? You claim this low over here. What an epic bounce that happened here. Could this be another one? I'm going to say it is possible, but I am not giving it favor to do so, and I will explain why throughout the stream. I am expecting lower prices for Bitcoin, and this is not a good swing failure pattern for me. There is a possible quick reaction bounce swing failure pattern from these lows, just because we do have a lot of liquidity sitting beneath the $61,600, and it might be a liquidity grab. We might be getting some buying orders in here as we sweep these lows. You do have a potential, maybe some people are talking about this, descending wedge structure right over here. We're going to get supported from these lower lows. This is kind of aligning with the lows right over here for a sweep, and also the naked point of control that we do have from the 4th of October. We have a high volume node from the 4th of October, which is also sitting there. You know, there's a lot of support, but according to the analysis that I am looking at, I think things can get very aggressive. Things can get very aggressive here in this zone, just because I'm speculating that we could be in a third wave formation. And I don't want to be really trying to catch any swing failure patterns after a drop and a consolidation and then the next drop potentially starting. So you could get some micro bounces, in my opinion, at certain levels. But me personally, I am really not speculating on a V-shaped recovery from this zone. And I have to say, if you manage risk and you believe that this is just a liquidity grab, and you know it is a good zone to manage risk, I have to say. You can risk peanuts here to take the shot. You can risk peanuts to take the shot here. I'm not taking it. Yeah, I'm not sure where you would be targeting for a full V-shaped recovery, or I don't know. I'm not going to take it. I would rather miss the long, just because I am actually leaning slightly more bearish, and I think lower prices is highly likely. Could be completely wrong. Most believe, and the chart does feel like, okay, we've had the selling pressure, we've had a round formation, you know, shouldn't we, you know, get a reversal from here, right? Shouldn't we just, you know, come on, you know, the price is maintaining ground here, we're just wicking out here the early long positions, and it's going to reverse now that we've got all of the longs out of the way, right? Now that we've got all of the longs out of the way with this drop, now it's time to start creating a V-shape. I am not supporting this scenario. I think that we are just going to end up going to lower levels. And, you know, I could be completely wrong on this. But you know, this is a liquidity grab. Do you want to take the shot? Well, you know, this is all depending on, you know, how aggressive you are. I'm just not even gonna take the chance, not even with a few peanuts. Not even with a few peanuts. I would rather miss the trade and analyze, you know, what has actually formed, you know, what has formed, what was this, right? What was all of this? Now, let me quickly go through comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. We will do some brief explanations here on the price of Bitcoin. And Devil, my man, Andy nailed the analysis today inside our community. Well, yeah, kind of nailing the possibility of a WXY, but we need to see continuation to the downside, in my opinion. Then I would say, okay, we nailed it. For the moment, we've tested the lows, we're getting the reaction. You know, I'm aware that once you create a liquidity grab, that buying pressure could come in and, you know, you could form a V-shaped recovery. I just need to understand that that is possible, right? All the lows, especially on higher time frame, they are a liquidity grab zone, and you could get a significant recovery. I understand that, and I you know, I do think that it could happen. I am not supporting this scenario. But it could happen, right? It could happen, right? We can never be too bearish or too bullish, right? We just need to understand what, you know, what's the next price action telling us. And for the moment, we've claimed these lows from yesterday, and we're getting a bit of a reaction, okay? It's happening, right? We're getting a bit of volatility. I think bulls are trying to step in. It would be interesting to see the CVD at the moment. Currently forming some very local internal bearish ones. We're getting some pretty aggressive longs on Bybit trying to maintain this level. So we're getting longs entering here at the low. That is confirmed. There's several million entering, right? Bulls want to defend this level, which is only going to create some more liquidity here to the downside, giving possible fuel to just continue breaking down, right? Now, the theory from yesterday and in the Legends trading community, well, on yesterday's video update, we analyzed, you know, what happened yesterday. We were speculating on, you know, a long position here to hit this high, then a short position here. Shout out to Devil, actually shorting all the way up here. Very, very nice indeed. Just looking at the 1.618 extension from this move, right? I shorted later. That's very classic from me, right? Want to see the sign of weakness, want to see back test. I'm very, very patient. Epic short right over here based on the 1.618 from Devil. Shout out to you. And analyzing the possibility that this could have been the end of an impulse right there, and this is the end of a corrective structure. And I wanted to see the price continue to break down very aggressively here, but this did not happen. So if this did not happen, we need to start coming with some different conclusions, right? Because I can give you an analysis today, and in 2 hours I will give another analysis in the Legends trading community, of course, first of all, saying, guys, this is what happened, you know, the things have changed. This is why the next move is the most important. Always the next move, certain invalidations, is the most important to then suddenly flip bullish or continue being bearish with this downtrend. One of the scenarios that we were speculating on yesterday live stream, as we did not get continuation to the downside and we formed a zigzag here, we could be forming a much larger complex corrective structure, meaning that we could be on the formation of a WXY. I hate these on Elliott wave analysis. I don't go too deep into it, but I understand, you know, I'm enjoying a little bit more of you know, looking at the different scenarios here apart from the confluence levels. And one of the scenarios was creating another zigzag to the upside to actually claim above 63,200, or form a triangle formation throughout the next 24 hours. Form a triangle formation throughout the next 24 hours, because on a Y you could form a zigzag, you could form a flat, you could form a triangle. Things can really get very, very complex. And we ended up forming a little bit more of a triangle scenario, right? When we do analyze here and zoom in, we were talking about this zigzag that was happening here. Sorry, this flat structure, right? So we got a flat right over here. I wanted the price to break down and continue to the downside. That was my analysis. Hey guys, this is the end. You know, let's start moving down very aggressively. However, we didn't. We did not do that. We formed another three-wave structure right over here. And that is when you come to the conclusion of, okay, we got the bounce, we consolidating. You know, there's a couple of scenarios. You either form a zigzag, you claim this high. You can form a flat structure again, right? Get a pump, come back down to the lows, double bottom, come back up. And you know, form a flat structure, or you could form a triangle formation, which is basically what happened. We formed a triangle here, and for the moment, and in a triangle you want those 5 waves, right? So you got basically the triangle right over here. You got the triangle formation. And you have to come to the possibility that, hey, you know, maybe this is the WXY right over here, forming the Y in this triangle movement, right? So you got that right over here. Coming to the possibility of that larger, you know, that WXY here formation, right? To get possibly continuation to the downside. We're holding pretty nicely those lows, and of course, depending on what the price does in the next coming hours, it could complete the it could completely change the structure. If we get above these highs, then I have to say, you know, it's going to be looking a bit disturbing. Then I'll have to come to another conclusion. So for the moment, as long as we remain beneath these lows, these lower highs over here, I remain bearish for lower. Now, you know, this was not a bad idea to get into a hedge long position if you are from short positions from higher, right? I've been adding ever so slightly to the short with the position protected just to maximize the potential drop. But being defensive, stop loss at break even, right? You know, speculating on, let's see if we do go lower, and having stop loss at entry point with invalidation zone. So I want the price to maintain beneath these lower highs to continue the impulsive move down. Now, if we do get above these highs throughout the next coming hours, it will be a very disturbing move for me. I'll be like, okay, what is going on here? What is going on? You know, then I will have to come with some different ideas, which I do not have at the moment. I would have to think that a flat structure here is possible. I would have to believe that, okay, maybe, and this would just not, it will not be looking good at all. So yeah, the timing is just going absolutely crazy here. And this is like really complex stuff, guys. You know, flat here, zigzag here. Could this be a flat? And then you're going down. I would consider it. I would really consider the possibility if we start ripping right now in a V-shaped recovery, just to claim some, you know, late short positions entering right there. I'll have to come to the conclusion, okay, maybe this could be the scenario. But for the moment, I'm leaning a little bit more on the side of, yeah, okay, this has been the triangle and we're breaking down, and we should be defending this. The bears should be defending this lower high to get continuation lower. So let me just give a brief explanation on this kind of structure, and just give a bit of education on this, on our WXY, on an Elliott wave theory, which are very, very complex, of course. And we can just zoom out ever so slightly and give you an example of what happened in a very, very weird corrective structure. And this is looking at this drop over here. This is an explanation that I gave in the Legends trading community based on a drop that we had here back in August. So when we had this drop in August, you know, what the heck happened here, right? And then we continue to the downside, right? This does look like really good SFPs, right? We should be getting a V shape. We should be going to higher levels, right? This should be the kind of the bottom formation, right? Shouldn't we, you know, selling pressures exhausted, SFPs, shouldn't we start ripping here? And you know what the price did finally was continuing to the downside. And I think we could be on the formation of something very, very similar. Of course, yeah, I could be completely wrong, but it doesn't matter about being right or wrong. It's knowing where to enter into those positions and know your invalidations, knowing exactly where to take the decisions, right? Which is most importantly as a trader. You can be the best TA guy out there, all right? But if you don't know how to enter and execute the trades, well, you're basically going to lose. So what happened here with this drop, right? Just say we had an impulsive move down with, you know, significant volume. What happened here is that we formed a zigzag, a flat structure. We formed an ABC flat right there. Had an A wave, came down to the low of the A wave, back up here above the A wave, forming that flat. What continued here, claiming this low right over here, just so you see the similarities of the price action here, guys, so you can understand how the price moves. What happened here after this zigzag, after this flat, is you formed a zigzag down in a three-wave structure. Now let's just fast forward to what is happening right over here on slightly more lower time frames. You got a pretty aggressive move down. You got a flat structure right over here. You have a zigzag coming down in a three-wave structure. And then eventually you ended up with a triangle. There's multiple scenarios for the Y to finish. You have a zigzag, you have a flat, you have a triangle, you got different scenarios. But just so you see the similarities of these movements, of course you are SFPing from the lows. You are creating some SFPs from the lows. And let's go right away and just go back to see that price action that I was explaining right over here from this move that happened back in August. So you got a flat right over here. You got a zigzag right over here. What happened here? Well, here, after this zigzag to the downside, you formed a flat. You did not form a triangle. You did not form a zigzag. You formed another flat structure, creating an A wave, creating a B wave, claiming the low, SFP, and claiming the highs of the A wave. You add another flat. So you had a zigzag right there, and you had a flat right over here, completing a very complex WXY structure to get continuation to the downside. Now, I am an SFP fan. That's one of my main strategies. Without a doubt, you claim the lows, you get the bounce. You claim the lows, you get a bounce. So, you know, I understand the possibility of a large bounce here. When I fast forward throughout the price action that has happened the last 24 hours, you know, for the moment, the idea of a triangle is first of all, you know, what's making me believe that, okay, this has been the end of this possible WXY. So just a little tip right there, just a little bit of education. Obviously the best short trade that you could have speculated on, and I think 𝗕𝗏𝘆 entered a short trade right over here, is on that fake out, right, of the lower high resistance in that triangle, which is classic for that E wave. You got the low right there, you got an A, B, C, D, and E right there, not quite reaching that level here, still moving in a three-wave move, getting the fake out, and that's when it rolls back down. So I have to come to the conclusion that lower is more likely from this point. That the bears have, bears need to defend this level. As long as this level is defended, this is likely going to go to lower levels. So what if the price maintains its ground here and gets a really nice relief pump? I'm going to still support the possibility of this being a corrective structure, because when you zoom out throughout August price action and you take a look at this, it's a classic level. Hang on a second, this is frozen at the moment. When I do zoom out, hang on a second, guys. This is no bueno. My trading view is frozen. Yeah, another main reason why Bitcoin is possibly dropping is because of the DXY is actually breaking out from that level of support that has been getting a reaction throughout the last few days. We're getting an attempt in breaking out. So overall, the bearish analysis is kind of on point with DXY breaking this resistance, which obviously comes all together, and a strong dollar means that risk on assets, will be weaker, right? So it does make sense for the bearish analysis to play out, because the dollar index is breaking out. And I know a lot of people will come out and say Bitcoin's dropping because of the DXY is pumping. Well, we already kind of analyzed the bearish scenarios throughout the last few days, and this only helps the bearish analysis. So wrecked time, says Crypto King. Well, if you are a good trader and you're good with your risk management, there's no need to get wrecked. Okay, you are here in this channel to understand the analysis, understand where is there trading opportunities, and not to get wrecked. Okay, I know if you follow maybe other channels, especially when they're higher time frame, as in Bitcoin's going to moon, it's going to bounce, or Bitcoin is going to drop to 50K, then getting this kind of, oh, he said that we are going lower, so I'm just going to jump into a short position. No, we talk about levels, and we talk about different setups and good risk management. That's how you trade. So anyway, this going back to August here with this scenario, it's right, it's you would believe, and I think I was actually supporting the possibility here, because I think we were speculating on a possible contracting diagonal or an expanding diagonal to do this, but it ended up not doing that. And obviously coming to the conclusion that you formed a very, very complex corrective structure that not everybody understands, not even myself, right? Unless I start, using the knowledge and going through the lower time frames and start, it does take time. But as I explained, this was a very, very complex WXY structure. And most would believe that you're going to form a higher low here, and you're actually going to form another higher low to try and create another higher high. And I think we're going to have we're having a similar sentiment here, possibly, for some people to believe that we are going to be forming a higher low here, and we are going to maintain above these lows, right? And the choppiness that has been formed throughout the last couple of days should be a reversal. I got someone saying to me yesterday about, shouldn't this be a formation of a diamond pattern, and diamond pattern formation for a bottom. And you know, I made understand the Legends trading community that if we do form a diamond pattern, I want it at the end of a potential large impulsive move down, forming several waves to the downside. If we form a diamond pattern here in a fifth wave, then I'll be like, yeah, guys, this looks good. This is why I support the possibility of this diamond pattern on the higher time frame, because this is coming from a very strong multi-monthly downtrend. I support this diamond pattern because it's coming from a, you know, very, very large corrective structure multi-monthly. Okay, and this is higher time frame. I'm actually slightly more bearish on lower time frame, but I'm bullish on higher time frame. I do think that the next leg to the downside will potentially be the last one. So it's all understanding the timing and when, you know, a diamond pattern is legit, right? And I was already saying I don't like the possibility of a diamond pattern here, just because after this corrective move to the upside, we've only started the initial drop here, the first wave down, meaning that, you know, it's highly likely that we are going to get another leg down, and maybe even another leg down, you know, maybe even 5 waves. First of all, let's get into the third wave, right? First of all, let's speculate on the third wave down. Then if we get another 4, 5, then yeah, okay. But this is why a reversal at this area was just highly unlikely based on the probabilities and the analysis, because it's the first initial wave, right? It's the first initial wave, and it's unlikely. So especially when you zoom out ever so slightly here on the 30 minutes and you understand this momentum to the upside and the first breakdown, right? It's like first leg down, 3-wave move up, first leg down throughout the last couple of days. Reversing from here it would be extremely rare. It would be very, very rare, guys. In my opinion, hey, if you want to prove me wrong and jump into a long position on this drop, well, be my guest and prove me wrong in the next live stream. So, but I'm not jumping. I'd rather say I missed the long position here. If I'm honest with you, the thing they was giving. Let's go right away through the technical analysis. Like I said, I think lower is likely, so I don't have any internal setups here. This is an extremely risky sniper long that could happen from claiming these lows over here. We have the golden pocket. We have, you know, there is confluence. Golden pocket, sweep up the lows. It might get a nice reaction bounce, guys. You got a naked point of control. There's a high volume node right there from this range. But it's a very, very risky one. It's a very, very risky one, especially if we do zoom in. If we do zoom in here, and you know, this whole idea of the WXY was also mentioned in the Legends trading community. You know, we have the updates. You know, this could be the end of a corrective structure, and we're going to start rolling to the downside, understanding the momentum, understanding the complex correction move. If you want more updates like this, guys, and more intraday setups and looking for ideas, there's only one place to go. It is the Legends trading community. You got the first link in the description. If you want to really take your trading knowledge and experience to the next level. It's not only a setup signals channel. You ain't going to learn anything about those channels. You want the education. You want to start getting the knowledge out there, you know, so you can start fishing through, you know, by yourself, right? It's just the education is most importantly, you know, the most important thing in trading, not finding the best signals channel or the best bot out there. I mean, if there is a successful bot, I would be willing to use it. It will, you know, will save my time in analyzing the structure. You got the first link, guys, down below. And if you don't like it, you can just say, this is a bunch of crap. I think the Legends trading community is not what I'm looking for, right? But I think that you need to take that experience and see it for yourself, because me, 𝗬𝗍𝗏, rest of the coaches do, put in the hours for your education. So very risky long position. I'm really not interested in this, guys. It's just what makes really a lot of sense here, that we have finished. If we have finished this WXY structure and we have finished a movement down in an impulse and this complex corrective move, things can get pretty aggressive here on the drop. So I'm really not looking to catch the bottom, really not catching the highest confluence level. Just understanding that lower is more likely. Okay. I love these levels. I love them. I trade them many times, but when I zoom out and I look at the bearishness and the bearish scenarios, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. You can be an aggressive scalper and look for initial bounces. I mean, hey, we did swing failure pattern from these lows after all, right? If you snipe it long here, you need to get ready to get the heck out quick, right? Because price coming back down to the lows, it's just not. If you want to speculate on catching the bottom, you need to test it. You need to recover. You need to get in. Look, the bounce was just too small here. We're back down to the lows. You want to get out. You want to get out quick because you are moving against trend. So, will it end up recovering aggressively? Well, you got several attempts here, right? You have several attempts to try these trade setups, right? Maybe you get a V-shaped recovery right now as you SFP'd. These are quick ones, guys. I'm not paying attention to these scenarios, and I'm not that interested in taking them myself. But you got a quick one right over here happening as we speak, right? Throughout the last few minutes, right? Tested the lows. It's a sniper long, boom, boom, stop loss. You're getting the bounce. You protect instantly. But the momentum is down. I would even say, this is already a good take profit zone. You're hitting lower high resistance. This is like really, really aggressive scalping. You need to get in and out very, very quick with these small little movements of a few $100s. I'm not, into doing that right now eventually, but, potentially leave some open. If you start breaking out from here, then, if you did get into that scalp long position from here as an SFP, you've taken profit at lower high resistance. If you break out from here, then, you could leave a little bit open with your stop loss defensive. If you start breaking out very aggressively, then, hey, you're in a very good position. It's basically catching the lows in this internal double bottom. If you can manage risk very, very well, you can just wait for the double bottom liquidity grab, jump into the trade and be defensive. Very, very simple and effective way to trade. Let's go through the comment section right away. And not sure if my chart is right, but looks like multiple bullish CVDs showing on hourly. Yeah, on the higher time frame, we do have very exciting, incredible bullish CVD divergence. I cannot deny that. Also, right, we do have very, very strong higher time frame bullish CVD divergence throughout the last several days. The latest insane bullish CVD divergence that we had on higher time frames was, and this is eventually looking to take out this high above $66,000, right? The last bullish higher time frame CVD divergence were these higher lows created in August, right? Throughout August is where we got this epic rally in September claiming this high, which is the target from the bullish CVD divergence. We were creating insane lower lows on the CVD. We were creating massive higher time frame lower lows on CVD, and we got an epic bounce here to come all the way up to these highs. So, however, we were already, the thing about higher time frame divergence here on the CVD, guys, there's one issue here. How low can we go forming the bullish CVDs? Because we were forming bullish CVD divergence already with these higher lows. So you're already forming lower lows on the CVD, and you're continuing to form lower lows on the price. Sorry, higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low. It's like, okay, when this is like RSI, right? This is like higher time frame RSI. It's like, yeah, we're forming bullish divergence on the RSI or on the stochastic, but there's a situation here eventually. It's like, yeah, you can come as low as the 0.88 Fibonacci down here, continuing to form lower lows on the CVD. And it's like, okay, where, this is why I day trade basically as well, and try and recognize also some swing trade scenarios, just like we did a few days ago, realizing that the $64,000 range was actually a good swing short to come below $60,000. I do understand where we have swing short positions, but this is the thing. We are forming incredible bullish CVD divergence here. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. It's, we are forming lower lows on the CVD, higher lows on the price action. But these bullish CVD divergence on higher time frame could continue to form higher lows and lower lows on the CVD. This could continue just like it did right over here, right? We've got bullish CVDs, we've got bullish CVDs, we've got bullish, we're continuing to form bullish CVD divergence. Till when, right? Till when, right? You can come as low as the 0.88 basically, right? Or just as long as you're above this low. So I do realize this. I will be very bullish once we come to lower levels. We'll be looking for bullish reversal signs. This is why I was not supporting this diamond pattern right over here, right? A reversal pattern structure. I was not supporting this. I do support a diamond bottom pattern if the price comes down to this area and we start forming, a reversal, right? Reaction zone. We start here. I would say this is epic. This is very likely going to get a huge, massive reversal that will blow your socks off. But not here on the lower time frames. Not here. So price looks like it wants to hold. It is holding for the moment, this zone, right? It wants to hold. It wants to hold. But I don't think it will hold successfully. This is why I'm not interested in longs here. So let's go through. Andy is late. Yes, my man. I am always late. I'm Spanish. Guys, remember that World Series of Trading is active. Okay, World Series of Trading is active. It is starting tomorrow. I need you in my team. Make sure to join the team. You have the direct link down below to join the World Series of Trading. We're going to make some noise, guys, and we do have a high chance to very likely end in the top 10 by the end of the competition. We were ranked top 10, top 20 most of the competition throughout the last 2 years, and there's hundreds of teams, guys. So we make noise. We are up there because I don't provide BS analysis, and we do try and get that P&L up. So if you want to be part of that for a potential $10 million prize pool to distribute throughout the winners, you want to join World Series of Trading, guys. If you haven't got an account already, you also get that bonus down below, okay, with a $500 airdrop, okay? Make sure to join the team. If you cannot trade on Bybit based on restrictions, you got bluffing, which is a no KYC. No KYC, no identification. You get 10% cash back from your initial deposit. So we're going to be analyzing different scenarios here, right? Just like yesterday, we do a little bit of Picasso drawing, as in imagining what could happen, right? This is what we need to do as traders, right? What if the price does this? Well, then I'll think like this. What if the price does that? Well, then I'll think like that, right? Just you need to come with different scenarios and possibilities to understand, okay, I was completely wrong on this analysis. You know, we're probably changing the structure here. Just like yesterday, we, speculated on, hey, ABC, we formed a zigzag down. We either form a zigzag up, we form a triangle. I don't know what the heck's going to happen. But if we form a triangle, which was what happened here basically, you could be looking at the end of a Y right there to start breaking down, to at least get the initial stages of breaking down. So things can flip very, 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 very quickly. Of course, this would not be a level that I would want to get into a short, and I'm not wanting to get into a long at the moment, because I want to be in a short from higher, right? I want to try and detect the scenarios from higher levels. And if any long was available for me here, it would only be the local double bottoms, right? These local swing failure patterns. But I would be very defensive here, guys. Very, very defensive, as I do support the possibility of actually going to lower levels. So, any longs here, they need to be quick. You need to be defensive. Could it end up getting the reversal, maintaining this zone, and getting a huge V shape? I have to say, yeah, it could happen, right? So, this is why, if you're very selective with your entries, I would only speculate on really, really double bottoms. We just had one right there. This could be the low, and we could get a V shape. Right, you're entering here as you're recovering from this pivot low. You just sniper trade. You got a great stop loss. Would consider taking some profits. Would consider putting stop loss close to break even to minimize any kind of losses. But you got a speculation reversal, right? We've tested the lows. We've claimed the liquidity. I've got a free trade. I've left 30% open, right? You got a free trade, right? Why not? If bulls need to step in, they need to step in this area. If they don't step in the next coming hours, well, eventually we will be looking for the rollover to continue. Let me go through comment section. I will start to be in doubt of this being corrective. Once we start getting above these lower highs, but I would still support the possibility of a flat right there for this much complex, WXY structure. And I would really consider a swing failure pattern here from this level, without a doubt. I would consider it. If the price does reject, I would really consider the flat structure here and the price to roll down finally from that level, right? Get people very bullish, get people longing. This is the reversal. This is the round formation. And then price, eventually comes down in the end. But this is only if the price fails to break out from this level, okay? This is like only if the price fails to break out from here, I would consider the short. If price V-shapes, which I really think it's not going to happen, guys. But if the price starts breaking out from this level, I need to think, wow, I was wrong on the idea that lower was likely, and this finally ended up being the bottom. And I'll come with other analysis and other scenarios, but that basically makes you understand this structure right over here, right? Where you start, hitting these highs, and you're like, oh, this looks good, right? It's bottoming out. It's claiming liquidity. This is the time for the reversal. And, you end up hitting a lower high right there, which ended up in a great flat structure. And, you know, I would be supporting the idea of this happening again. And this is on lower time frames. That is if we do break up. You know, any breakup from here and any pumpy action, I'm going to still lean on the possibilities that this is still corrective. This is not, this should not be the moment that the price reverses successfully and comes up to 64K and even higher. If the price were to successfully move up here from this pivot high without creating the failed breakout, I would really support that the price will claim this high. So, you know, I will flip intraday bullish if price successfully moves above this zone and starts closing some hourly candles and starts continuing the momentum. I would support the possibility of the price coming up to this high, and we'll look for scalp longs in this area, depending on what we form there with the micro waves. That is just, you know, that's just coming to the ideas of, okay, you know, if we do get above this high, I need to support the flat scenario, because that could be a flat zigzag and flat here. If it fails to break out, I will be jumping into a short position. We'll stop and I will be targeting the lows again. So I just need to come with I do believe, like I mentioned, that this already ended in this triangle, this speculative triangle that we mentioned also yesterday, right? So this is where we come with the ideas, right? Yesterday we were like, okay, I am bearish. I do see lower levels. However, we did not break out from this low. So what if we do form a zigzag? What if we do form a triangle? Well, you need to come to, okay, if we form a zigzag and we claim this high, I would be interested in a failed breakout from this high to get into a short as we reject with stop loss at the high, claiming the lows. And if we form a triangle, well, it's you know, triangle is a little bit more complex, but you would really try and identify that, try and identify the E point, right? Try and identify where is that E point going to be? Because you could have possibly speculated that the E wave from an ABCDE inside of a triangle was ending up here, right? And you say, okay, I enter the short here. Well, you would, you know, if you're speculating on a triangle that is inside of this corrective structure, your stop loss has to be the start of the A wave. You cannot get above the high from a triangle in a Y. You cannot. It will invalidate the situation, and you're probably pumping up to this high. So if you were speculating on this being the end of the triangle right over here, your correct stop loss should be above the A wave here from the initial start formation of the triangle. If you break this level, it's invalidated, you're likely going to pump. But then, you know, this was not the end of the E wave, it was here from this triangle. So, you know, and ended up breaking down. So just to understand where your invalidation would be if you're speculating on this scenario that we talked about yesterday, forming a triangle structure throughout the next 24 hours, right? Which is basically what happened. So leaning bearish is still, guys, you know, not interested in longs. You know, this does not look good. So I really could not give you any realistic good long positions to manage risk unless you're a scalper and you're looking for the exact levels to get a reaction and get a quick entry point. You know, like I mentioned, yeah, you could have got into this long SFP here, but you need to understand that you are in downtrend momentum, and price, yeah, did SFP from the low here, but you know, got rejected from lower highs. So this is your take profit no matter what. If you're long in here and it's only a move of $100, $200, you want to get you want to be very quick on these SFPs. They're just really for scalping. I would not play around with long positions or build long positions here, because you could get burnt. You could get burnt based on the next projection, on the next projection to the downside, which would be a C wave or a third wave. You know, it really could, you know, really could get pretty aggressive in the next 24 hours, give or take, maybe next coming hours. So any longs here is just really not worth it. So I mean, let's for me personally, it's not worth it. Of course, you might be a pro and you might you know, want to get into some scalp longs, or just giving you my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, and we're going to V-shaped recovery from here. I'm just giving you my point of view, just understanding a little bit of what I know and how I read the charts, and I'm just sharing it with you. And I could be completely wrong, and the price V-shapes from here, right? But I don't support that. So let's come to the idea of, okay, hey, we broke from this uptrend momentum in a three-wave structure, and I had to get that live out from the other day, because we you know, I was saying, guys, this is actually a swing short position. Who remembers about the coffees? Who remembers about the coffees? And I said, you know, this is going to take quite a long time. It's going to take maybe a week or two potentially to come down here, if it does come down there. But was talking about, guys, you know, if you want to short the one-to-one extension here from this move, and this is absolute classic perfection technical analysis right over here, guys. If you want to get into the one-to-one, stop loss beneath the, you know, above the wick, you can risk $2 to potentially gain 20, right? Just to be funnier with the risk management. You can risk a coffee to gain 10 coffees, right? Understanding that this was actually a pretty good swing short zone. I did not enter this short position. I got into a small scalp here on a back test after getting the rejection. They're all day trades. I got into short yesterday here, took most of the profits here, been adding a little bit, realizing that we could go lower. And you know, I'm not a swing trader myself, but you know, sometimes we do detect the possible swing trade scenarios. So let's talk about the projection. Hey, if you are so bearish and you think that we are going lower, you know, how low could we go, right? As the title, as the thumbnail, right? How low can we go? Well, if this were to be the end of, if it were to be the end, guys, of this wave one here, and this ends up being the end of the corrective structure, because the end of the correction structure is not here, it is actually here, because we formed a very complex move. Well, I have to say that at least I would be looking at the one-to-one from this pivot high to this pivot low to then this pivot high, and the extension is actually going down one-to-one to the $60,000 range, right? Basically these lows that could obviously look for lower levels, you know, in the next coming days. But yeah, at a bare minimum, if this were to be the end of the wave here, you know, I at least want to look at the one-to-one. And just out of curiosity, I want to zoom out here just with this complex corrective structure that happened in August, right? Where we had the movement down, the very complex WXY with a flat, with a zigzag, with another flat, and come to the extension move here from the highs to the low to the lower high right over here. You can see how the price actually came down to the one-to-one extension. And this is counting the very complex WXY that happened here, forming a flat a zigzag, and another flat. So you take the extension from the highs to the lows to the top of the corrective structure here, and the one-to-one extension brings you right over here where it exactly got the bounce. So I mean, coming to the conclusion with this idea, and I'm just laughing because, you know, hey, we at some low levels, you know, we at some lows. I understand that the price could V-shape, guys. You know, this is only the idea and the projection, which I really support. So if we come with that idea of this has been an impulsive move down, we formed this zigzag, flat structure zigzag yesterday, and the triangle. Well, that's how we look at the projection, right? The pivot high to the pivot low before forming the flat to this pivot high, which is the end of Y in that triangle, and one-to-one is coming down to 60,100 at a bare minimum. But then is when we zoom out and understand what is going on here on the higher time frame, and understand that we could be in an ABC move here, much larger. I mean, this is only looking at possible projections for the next 1 to 2 days. But then whatever happens here, massive bounce, you know, yeah, basically, I mean, yeah, it's just, we're not going to speculate on if we do this, then we do that, then we could do this tomorrow, then we could do this after tomorrow, right? Let's just get the move out of the way and then analyze later on once we start forming a little bit of a range and some waves where we can actually use the technical tools and analyze the next possible projection. So yeah, yeah, and you know, this whole idea of this move, right? This is not me, you know, making up stuff. Eventually, it's very complex, very complex Elliott wave theory. Not many people do this. But yeah, so realizing that this has been a flat structure, and that there's some other scenarios that we could speculate on. Okay, just let me, if we get a V-shaped recovery, you know, they've got a zigzag, flat structure, zigzag, and a triangle, right? This is basically because I have it somewhere here on my Elliott wave theory, you know, screenshots. There we go. This is basically speculating on this scenario. Of course, this is reversed. This is coming from a pump, but we are coming from a dump right now, where you get a flat structure, you get a zigzag, and you get a triangle, and you get continuation to the upside. In this case, because you're coming from a pump. In this case, you're coming from a dump. So there's the flat, the zigzag, the triangle, continuation to the upside. In this case, we're coming from a downtrend. You got a flat, you got a zigzag, you got a triangle, and it's breaking down. Let's go through. I have to support the, if we are V-shaping here, I mentioned the scenarios before here, legends. If we suddenly get a massive bounce and we start getting above $62,400, I will speculate on the possibility of this possible flat. Okay, I would want to see the rejection. I would jump into a short. It's all about creating plans, guys. It's all about creating different plans just in case, hey, you were completely wrong. Your triangle, you know, crappy nonsense that you mentioned yesterday has been completely invalidated, and you are talking a bunch of BS because the price reversed in front of your face, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I have to say I missed the long position, and would be looking at the different waves and scenarios and confluence. And one that I would support is giving the another chance here for the bears to actually form that flat here and then come down. So yeah, that would be one scenario. If the price just rips through this level, then I would say, okay, well, we're probably coming to this high. And that's when I would be very, very skeptical, right? I would be starting to think, wow, you know, this was not an impulsive move down. This was not a complex correction and we're rolling down. I have to think on another scenario. Overall, I would be interested in some scalp longs here. If the price successfully moves up, and even though this could be a failed auction, right, where you break through and then you move down. So it's just going to be a dangerous area. I would realize the possibility of sign of strength in coming up to this high, and that is when you have to delete all of this, what we mentioned, and forget about it and come to, hey, what if the price did form a 5-wave impulsive move, but instead of ending the 5th wave here, this is actually a 3rd wave, and this was the 5th wave, right? Because you can micro count 5 waves inside of this 3rd wave, right? I can count 5 waves down here. Maybe this was the 3rd wave, right? And the 5th wave ended up here. Classic in a failed auction, right? You get the recovery and you test the top of the 4th wave, creating that swing failure pattern coming back down to the lows. So then I would have to say, okay, maybe, still leaning bearish, guys. Just looking at bearish scenarios, right? It's like, why aren't you looking at bullish? Well, I think there could be some scalp longs here between these lows and this low over here, lower high. There could be some interesting scalp longs that we could discuss if we do get up there, targeting this high. But that is not the case till we do not get up there with a big volume and a big breakout. Then we'll analyze that scenario once we get up there. But what if this was the impulsive move down, and what is happening here is, instead of talking about all of that micro count and scenarios that I've just mentioned, we form an ABC flat here. This has been the A wave, this still being the B wave, and now we're going to form a C wave, right? Well, obviously this will, based on the timing, it will already look very extensive. I mean, not massively, I gotta say. We're not even crossing the 2 to 1, so it wouldn't be a massive extension. Could this be part of the flat? Because when I do, you can actually say that this has been a zigzag. This has also been a zigzag. And you're going to come up here very aggressively in 5 waves. If the price comes up to this level with a 5-wave impulsive move, I would still consider this scenario as a flat to look for a day trade swing short position. And I will only execute this trade, and I can be completely wrong, and we're going to 66k tomorrow, guys. Okay, just to make you understand, and I'm not trying here to be right on anything. I'm just making you understand where I would execute a trading setup safely. And this scenario only is valid for me if you start rejecting down aggressively from this pivot high. And that supports exactly the main reason why I entered a short position on the rejection from this high, speculating that we formed a flat scenario. And only shorting on the rejection on the possible backtest. So I have to come to the different scenario here, a bit different, right? On, hey, what if this has been 5 waves down? What if this has been the A wave in 3 waves? Perfect. This has been the B wave, a little bit extensive in timing, but overall a 3-wave move. And if we move up here in 5 waves, and I can count those 5 waves in an ABC flat, you have 3 waves, you have 3 waves in the B, and then you have 5 waves in the C. If we move there into this high with 5 waves that can be counted successfully, I will be speculating on the rejection here to short all the way down back to the lows. But I need the 5 waves, I need the data, I need to check the reaction from this level, and you know, it's a possible setup, right? And we're looking at something like this. You know, if this just suddenly moves up to that level and we just pop, hey, all of your bearish BS did not play out, you know, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, I'm not here to tell you that this is going to be this is what's going to play out, right? I'm here to say it's a valid count and it's a valid scenario. If you fail to break above this high, you got a potential initial short position to come back down to the lows, giving you a very, very good risk to reward. Only if you do fail to break out from this level and, you know, you're looking for a relatively good move to the downside here. So if you obviously break through from those highs here and you just absolutely rock it, well, we will just enjoy the price action. I'll have to say, guys, I missed the long position unless I'm in a long position from lower, basically realizing the sign of strength and realizing that what we are forming here is something more complex that we talked about here, or well, actually easier. However, this was invalidated and we did not get the continuation to the downside, realizing that we formed a 3-wave move here, a 3-wave move here, giving the possibility, okay, you know, maybe this is actually going to be hit in a 5-wave structure. And if we do break above this level, there will be some initial longs that we could get into, depending on how the price moves up throughout this momentum. And we'll analyze that very carefully in the Legends trading community. Without a doubt, I would probably not be live on YouTube, but you know, there will be some scalp long opportunities, realizing signs of strength and realizing, you know, where we could get in with managing risk with invalidation points to claim that high. And depending on the claim of this high, we will be looking for long positions here, taking profits here if we reject from this high, from the longs turning into shorts, realizing that this ABC flat could be a scenario. So that is also one thing that we could be paying attention throughout the next, you know, 1 to 2 days. You know, if we suddenly get a V shape, right, things we'll be looking bullish, right? But I would really support the possible bear trap, right? This is what we would call a bear trap formation possibility, coming up to that zone. You know, we'll get a lot of people being bullish here on we bottomed out, we're going higher, and you know, looking at the possibility of rolling back down, which, you know, it's just an idea. If we do get the V shape, like I said, I will be happy to say, guys, I missed the long position from these lows. Oh, we actually created the swing failure pattern. When did this happen? Yeah, we swing failure pattern from these lows just about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it's getting got a bit of a bounce. It's a swing failure pattern after swing failure pattern, guys, till you actually catch the one that reverses successfully, which I lean on the side that it's not going to happen. But yeah, that you had one right there as I was giving the explanation, right there from the lows, right there at the 618, at the 6 like Jason Casper says. We actually tapped this. Oh, we didn't actually. We almost did. We almost did, but overall we did get a small little internal swing failure pattern, already bouncing a few $100. A very acceptable scalp long, huh? This was, well, we talked about the level. I was not paying attention. Was not that interested in taking it, but it could be the level, right? If my scenario that I mentioned, you know, what if we do start V-shaping here? Price, in my opinion, should have already started breaking down quite aggressively after the end of this speculative, you know, triangle WXY structure, which is here, guys. It's not a bunch of nonsense. It's you know, it's basically this flat zigzag triangle. But in my opinion, the price should have already broke down quite aggressively. It's taking time, and you know, would maybe it's just waiting for a bunch of longs positions to enter the market. Let's take that CVD here 1 second, because I mean, this is the moment that, you know, if you have consistent bearish CVD divergence throughout the downtrend, well, the downtrend will just likely continue. So I mean, we did have some internal ones. This is why we're just reclaiming the low consistently. So we did have some internal ones here on Bybit. This is why we claimed the lows again. Got a lot of longs entering here. Some shorts entering, but yeah, not many longs entering right now. Not many longs entering right now. So, you know, could this be the SFP that gets a very large recovery? I mean, it was the level to speculate on a long trade, guys. It was the level basically that we have been talking throughout the previous stream, but I would still consider it as a scalp and be very, very defensive, right? We ever so slightly front run the 618, which was, you know, it's a bit of a, you know, hey, come on. But it was an aggressive, valid scalp long. But would be very defensive here, guys. If you're trying to long here the bottom, make sure to be defensive. Start, you know, putting your stop loss at break even, because, you know, this could be a consistent lows, lower high, lower low, lower low, you know, and just roll over. So just trying to make you understand the structure and the possibility of going to lower levels. You can attempt these long positions, guys. You can attempt these. You know, this is previous weekend lows. That, yeah, it's a great higher time frame, very close to the 618. The reason that we haven't claimed the 618 would be very disturbing for me, that it's like needs to be hit. But if you scalp long in this, guys, you basically have the horizontal level, and it's an instant execution and an instant stop loss at the lows, and price is pumping right now in your favor. And would consider just really squeezing that stop loss to break even. But if this is a low and the higher time frame scenario that we mentioned plays out, where this is an A wave, a B wave, and we're gonna start recovering here to these highs from yesterday at 63,100, you got an epic long trade, defensive. You got a free trade basically, right? Because you catch the low exactly where you knew where to catch the low. I don't think this is going to happen, but it could. And it's a possibility. It could happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. And you have an insane entry and good risk management in this case. Would I enter now? Absolutely not. This is like a sniper. You know, I'm leaning bearish. I'm leaning that the bouncers will end up rolling over. But, you know, if you want to get into the exact levels, you got the chances, guys. If you enjoy the educational content and technical analysis and looking at the different ideas, I would really appreciate if you ever so slightly scroll down and smash up the like button. I'm not sure how many likes we do have here, but we do have 840 people on the stream here looking at the education, subscribing, and smashing the like button. And that will be very much appreciated, legends. Remember to join the team, guys. We've only got about 50 people, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in our team. But I know a lot of people cannot trade on Bybit based on the restrictions. But I want you in my team, guys. World Series of Trading. We want to make we want to make some noise because we know how to trade. We know how to detect the opportunities and different scenarios. And I want you in my team, especially if you're from the Discord. So, you know, you have the direct link here to join my team on the World Series of Trading, because we'll be making some noise and we have high probability to be in the top 10, top 20, right? We're really going to fight. There's hundreds of people, hundreds of teams, but we'll be making some noise, guys, and we'll do very well, just like we've been doing throughout the last few years. Join the World Series of Trading, legends. You got the direct link to join my team. If you haven't got a Bybit account, make sure to join with the link down below where you do get that exclusive bonus, $500 airdrop position, guys. Free airdrop. Just follow the steps and join the World Series of Trading, because we are going to make some noise and we're possibly going to get a piece of the cake. We're going to get a piece of the cake, legends, of the $10 million prize pool. We're going to get a piece of the cake. We're going to fight for it, right? And make some noise. Number 372, like. Guys, destroy the like button. My goodness. I know my shows are not as entertaining as Jason Casper. You know, he has definitely the power to be so entertaining. I'm very, very serious and technical and looking at the levels and looking at the scenarios and on making you understand, if this happens, this could happen. You know, this is a potential scenario. I wouldn't lean too much to this scenario. I would be defensive on this scenario. You know, I'm just providing the education, trying to train you to be a successful trader, which is obviously one of the most difficult jobs that there is out there, but definitely the most satisfying job that there is, giving you the freedom, right, of time. And I've got too much time on my hands, and this is, you know, the whole reason of creating YouTube and also, you know, creating other businesses as well. So amazing content, my man Razor Shapes. Thank you very much for that kind comment. Smash the like button, Dr. Green, adding some salt and pepper to the live stream. Andy is the cherry on top of my cake. Woohoo! Hey, much love to you. Much love to you, Seb. Aditya, Mariella, I need to give a huge thank you to my moderators. Always joining, always enjoying the streams and giving me massive support. Mariella, we got a little drop here of people after the shilling of the World Series of Trading, but we over 700 people watching. You got the education here, guys. We only try and provide the best. Try to, right? I will never say that I am the best, and I'll never say that, you know, I am going to become the best, but I try to provide the best education out there, right? So I learned to catch the fish from you, sir. Thanks, says Abdul. Absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got a huge comment today in the Legends Trading community. Well, this was yesterday, actually, from Coffee Cherry Coffee, or I don't know. What is it? Where is it? I can't find it. I can't find it. Where is it? Yeah, Cherry. Oh, there we go. Coffee Queen. Sorry, Coffee Cherry. You got me disturbing there. But very, very nice comment from Coffee Queen, saying, you know, she has been in a loss throughout the last couple of months and throughout joining the community, and thanks to, you know, me and Devolt and the rest of the coaches and some other members in the community. It's all great being surrounded with like-minded people that are actually trading and analyzing and giving their opinions and saying, since joined, starting to pick up in the green already, which, that made me super happy, super happy. So shout out to you, Coffee Queen, for that incredible comment. Actually providing the us being legit, right? So anyway, 420 likes. Let's go. Let's absolutely rip with the like button. Let's absolutely rip with the like button. Guys, thank you very much. I need a free month to the Legends Pro. I can make the $500 to enter World Series of Trading. Yeah, make sure to open a support ticket. Maybe we could get a discount. Join the link and ask the team, right? We're going to probably get a discount. Let's just get a discount, right? I'm going to speak to the team and say, guys, we need to launch a discount for people to join, to actually see the value and see how we're trying to create new traders, right? Successful traders. That is our mission, right? That is the mission, right? What do I have left as a successful trader? Well, create new traders, right? Which is obviously makes me very, very happy, because there's nothing better than actually seeing people happy and succeeding once you've had the success already, right? It makes me very, very happy. Makes me believe that I'm here to actually do something right, and help people. Because if not, what else did I have left, right? Should I just stay in my cave and trade myself, right? No, trading is a skill, and just like I mentioned yesterday, hey, stop sharing the strategies, stop sharing this, because if not, it's not going to work, right? That's just a bunch of BS. Trading always works when you've already been in the game long enough, because it's all based on risk management. It's all based on, when trading stops working, when you risk the house here to get into a long position and not have good risk management, and you get wrecked with a major drop. That's when you lose, right? So it's all about the risk management. You can have all of the strategies and knowledge that you want. If you don't know how to execute your trades safely with good risk, you're basically going to lose. So it doesn't matter. The strategies work, they don't work, they work sometimes. This is why you have stop losses and you have invalidation levels. And if the trade setup doesn't play out, you just get stopped out and you lose a small percentage of your capital. And you look for the next scenario. You are a person with a good heart. Peace, bro. Karim, thank you very much for that kind comment. Much love to you, and health and your family, and success for the next coming years. Let's go. BTC looks like it wants to break through. It looks like it wants to pump, eh? It looks like it wants to get a nice bounce. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting indeed what's happening here. Very, very slow. Very, very slow, dumpy. If I initially speculate on the impulsive move to the downside, as long as we're below this lower high, I have to say that this could be a 1-2, 1-2, and the show is about to start in the next coming hours, and we're going to start dropping aggressively. As long as we're beneath this low, I have to say that this is a 1-2, and we're just forming the first 1-2 inside of the third wave, and the show will start in the next 1 to 2 hours. So yeah, not much to add here. It's like the meme to the moon, and the moon is below the earth. And okay. Bull flag on the 1 hourly. Bull flag on the 1 hourly time frame. I am on the 1 hourly time frame, and we have a bull flag here, right? Like a descending wedge. Yeah, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, right? It does look very descending wedgy structure, right? Right, you got this, you got this. It does look like a kind of a bull flag, right? This is an impulse. The problem with this is that you form 3 waves. Now, as just the reason that we have 3 waves here, there's a big problem. There's a big problem to be for this to be a bull flag on the higher time frame. There's a big problem if you form 3 waves here and you're forming a bull flag. You know, it's like it's a big situation here that for this to be a bull flag, just because we have a 3-wave move here. After having a massive, I would actually say this is a bear flag and we're going lower instead of this being a bull flag from this movement up. But that's my point of view. Eventually I could be completely wrong. Sideways until tomorrow. CPI data, very possible. Very possible. We do have FOMC minutes today, guys. Stay cautious. This is at 10 p.m. UAE time. We do have the FOMC minutes, so stay cautious. We could get some volatility throughout the FOMC minutes. Maybe not, maybe yes. Just stay cautious with any trading scenarios that you're looking at locally as we're getting the FOMC minutes. But yeah, tomorrow we do have the CPI data. There's going to be some volatility. I'm not sure how we are going to, if inflation is going to be lower or higher. It's going to be interesting. There will be volatility tomorrow, without a doubt, with the CPI data. We got a reason why S&P is pumping and Bitcoin's dumping. What is going on? There should be some correlation here. The stock market is pumping a little bit throughout the last couple of hours, but Bitcoin is not doing so. So if the stock market fails to break out from this high and starts reversing, we have not pumped with the stock market. Bitcoin has not pumped with the stocks, and it's not. But if it dumps, then obviously there'll be more correlation on the drop than the pump. I can tell you that. So yeah, if Bitcoin wants to maintain ground, we want stock market to actually continue this pumpy action, because if not, if stock market reverses, then yeah, this will not help Bitcoin find ground, right? What I do think is not helping for Bitcoin to find the support and get the bounce that I know the bulls want is the dollar index breaking out from this major higher time frame basic level of support that did act as resistance throughout the last few days. I mean, this trend line, this higher low support trend line, did act as resistance throughout the last few days, but now we're having an attempt to break out from the highs. If it double tops throughout today and tomorrow, I mean, yeah, maybe a bit of sideways momentum. I think the volatility will come in. I think the drop will continue. This is a zone where volatility should kick in. So I wouldn't, based on the timing, based on the corrective structure that we mentioned, it would make sense for volatility to kick in the next coming hours and get the drop with new CPI or without CPI, just based on the timing and based on the end of the corrective structure, and based on the possibility that we formed a double 1-2 here to the downside, and we are, the show is just about to start. If this is a double 1-2, because third wave is going to bring the party. So yeah, if that is the case, then yeah, show is going to begin shortly. If this is a double 1-2, this is when we lose the lows again. Probably the show will start and we get a drop of $1,000 or I don't know. How does stock market affect to Bitcoin? Well, there's been a very strong correlation throughout the last few years, and there's just correlation, right? And you ask this question right now and I will answer right away, just bringing out the price of Bitcoin on the chart with the stock market on the higher time frames, for example the weekly. There's just always been a lot of correlation, and it's not like instant, right? Because stock market is pumping right now and Bitcoin's kind of trying to find support in this downtrend, which could, but there's just always been significant correlation with the stock market. And here we have the price of Bitcoin on the logarithmic, and we could just put in here the S&P 500 on the chart. If it does, and take a look at hang on a second, let me just fix this. It doesn't really matter. There we go. Sorry about it, guys. I'm a bit slow today. Yeah, basically there's I don't know how we could put this. There's always been some significant correlation. As you can see on the candlesticks, we have the price of Bitcoin, and in the purplish, you know, let's just turn this blue for the sake of it. There's always been pretty strong correlation. I mean, not exactly the same, but you can see how, you know, stock market Bitcoin bottoms out, we form an uptrend, Bitcoin uptrend as well. We can see the drop formation topping out in July of 2023. You can also see the top formation here from July of 2023 on Bitcoin and the stock market. And you can see stock market rolling down also with Bitcoin. You know, bottoming out here throughout September of 2023. Also, we add October, the stock market bottoming out, right? So, you know, not exactly the same, but overall, the movements are quite correlated, as you can see, right? Big, massive move on the stock market, also for Bitcoin. And when we zoom in ever so slightly on the lower time frames, you know, we can also see the... oh man, this is going to be a bit of a hassle here. Yeah, basically, well, eventually with the drop that we had on the 5th of August, right? 5th of August was a drop for everything, right? Yeah, the first week of August, stock market started dropping even sooner. And Bitcoin was just finding the top here, but then ended up dropping. And, you know, the bounce here, the bounce here, the rejection here, the rejection here, the bounce here, the bounce here. And there is a little bit of negative correlation right now. You know, stock market is bouncing a little bit. Maybe Bitcoin could pick up, but if stock market suddenly rolls over, then I think it will get affected. So anyway, that was just there is correlation anyway throughout the last few years. We can see it on a higher time frame, lower time frame. Not too much. Sometimes, most of the times, but not always. So one day BTC will follow stock market. One day BTC will follow stock market. It's been following stock market for the last few years. I think you mean decouple. One day Bitcoin will decouple from the stock market. Yeah, very possible. Once it comes the world reserve, world reserve currency, and you know, maybe when it gets similar to the market cap of gold, right? Maybe then we'll say, okay, you know, maybe Bitcoin will have its own life and will not correlate from stock market. But for the moment, it is still very highly correlated. If Bitcoin, if the S&P 500, I was going to say something, but I better not. Where do you think it will go down to? The price of Bitcoin? I think in the next coming days, I think the low, I think the below $60,000, I think it's just something that I think is very likely going to happen throughout the next coming days. With bounces or without, you know, I mean, the structure would have to completely change. And I would really lean on the camp of the possibility of, you know, if this still bounces from here, there will be some long trading scalp and day trade scenarios as well, just like yesterday in the Legends trading community. Did get into the short, did get into the long in this area, right? There is longs and shorts to be found. I'm giving a little bit of my higher time frame point of view, which is leaning a little bit bearish for the next coming days, despite any bounce that happens. But we'll be detecting scalp longs and shorts, whatever the price does, like we do best always in the Legends trading community. You know, it's just that is the trading hub. Down to zero, says Mariella. No, let's hope not. I have a big bag of spot Bitcoin. I'm willing to hold it down to $57,000 and to $49,000. And if we just lose the lows and we go to $30,000, well, we'll hold the bags. We'll hold the bags down to lower levels, right? Give us a little smash on the like button, guys. We're almost about to hit 500 likes. Give us a smash. Give us a support here. I'm here for the education. In my point of view, I've been in crypto since 2018. I've been in trading, learning trading and technical analysis since 2017. And I'm here just to share the knowledge and my point of view and answer questions. You know, I do have a bit of experience. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I do know something, right? I do know something. Trend lines, Fibonacci. Dead cat bounce incoming. Very possible. Very possible. Very possible. Very possible. I like your being optimistic here. It's not looking good. I have to say, it's not looking good. This is so similar to this kind of structure on the lower time frames, though. So similar. Such a complex, disturbing corrective structure where you hope and believe that all of these SFPs are going to finally get the big reversal, but it just ends up rolling down. And you really need to understand these kind of corrective, complex structures, which not many understand. This is why you need to educate yourself. But and I do see something very, very similar here that's happening on the lower time frames. You know, this is just a very, very complex, and you're going to get a bunch of people longing potentially. I would be interested in seeing the CVD. I mean, not many spikes to the upside. You know, this is really what you want to see. You already got some local ones happening here. This is why the trend is continuing to the downside, because you did get a bunch of longs entering on Bybit here out of nowhere. This is what you want to see if you want the price action to continue down. Get massive spikes here, massive longs entering in a downtrend and just coming back to claim the lows. And that is, if you get a bounce here, if you were to get a bounce and you see the CVD do this, well, not that exaggerated, but you see the CVD do this, and you're forming higher highs and you're forming lower highs, this is highly likely it's just going to continue the bearish structure. Bear market may be here. Stock market can't pump forever, and BTC is in a massive downtrend. Yeah, it is. It is in a massive higher time frame downtrend, but it's in an even more massive higher time frame uptrend, and even more massive if we go to the weekly time frame. Right? It all depends on what time frame you're looking at. It all depends on what time frame you're looking at, because I would say that Bitcoin's in a very huge, gigantic uptrend on the weekly, on the daily, on the 4-hourly. You're very much bearish. You're in a very, very strong bearish downtrend on the 4-hourly. You are, hang on a second, let me just, my goodness, I got the percentage here. What the heck's going on? Yeah, there we go. On the 1-hourly, it is bearish. And forget about this descending wedge, guys. You know, I was just, maybe some people that are just joining are going to believe that I'm looking for this descending wedge to get a massive bounce and breakout. No, that is not the case. So I'm going to get it off the chart just in case anybody joins in and says, oh, you got a descending wedge on the chart, then this means we're getting an epic bounce. No, I don't believe so. Not much to cover, guys. Not much to cover. I expect lower. Not much to cover. Dumping. We are dumping, right? Let me just zoom in. Oh, we're losing the level. The party could start now, guys. The party could start. If this were to be a micro 1-2-1-2, yeah, it's probably going to start. Unless we have successfully completed a 5-wave structure here, and we're going to get an epic bounce. You could say that you could count, yeah, but no, it does not. No, it does not look right. It does not look like right for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 1 being the largest wave. I don't see this as a completion 5 wave, and you're going to get a nice bounce here and then roll back down. You know, could it happen or not? I don't see it likely. I really do think that the price could break down to lower levels. Long right now? No, I'm not longing. You know, if you want a long, like I said, it's dangerous. We're talking about these scalp longs. Take them as scalps, because we're talking about this SFP throughout the stream as well. And I said, guys, you know, this is a scalp long. Forget about this being the big reversal low and you're going to come to $63,000. But it was an initial scalp, acceptable scalp long for a couple of $100. But I said, you get in, get out, be defensive, get in, get out, take profits. You know, this is not a moment to consider this is the low, we're going to reverse. All of those people trying to catch the lows here with these SFPs are just going to get instantly stopped out consistently, based on the analysis that I explained throughout the stream. It's just really not worth it. Check the CVD. CVD, yeah, not much to say on CVD here locally. I have to say, not much to. There's no bullish CVD divergence possible as you form lower lows. The only possibility here that you have is actually forming bearish CVD. This is what's happened, right? Lower highs, higher highs, claim the lows again. If we to experience something like this again, then you just have high probability in coming back down to the lows. So we are at a higher time frame, big Fibonacci level. We are at a higher time frame big Fibonacci level, which is the golden pocket. We just tapped ever so slightly the 618 just now. These are very aggressive scalps, guys. If you want to catch the bottom, you got the pivot lows that got a bounce. You got the 618 that just got a bounce right now. But they're scalps, and I would be extremely defensive. I personally expect the price to actually continue to lower levels despite any nice bounces that we do get. And oh, actually you got a cheeky short position here somewhere, which I am gonna, I completely forgot about this. I will make yeah, but yeah, I've been adding to this position as well. Got into a cheeky scalp short, I have to say, before, which I completely forgot. I've been adding to this short position and being defensive, just realizing that we could go lower, but I'm seriously not interested in longs here. The only long availabilities that you have is these levels as scalps. You're catching the SFP from here. You're catching the 618 tap. We just ever so slightly tapped the 618 right now, and got a reaction bounce of what, $100 or 200. It's like, yeah. Sorry guys, this is just for me not the moment to speculate on an SFP based on the analysis that I provided earlier. Realizing that this could have been the end of a very complex corrective structure, and you know, I'm looking for the price to actually move with power here to the downside. If you want to speculate in catching the 618 and these lows, be defensive, manage risk accordingly. You got a naked point of control as well that you could have an attempt on a reaction. We just tapped the naked point of control, actually. That already happened. Yeah, that naked point of control is from the 4th of October, when we do get the session volume profile. It's a high volume node that we do have from the 4th of October. On the daily chart for me is more accurate, but yeah, it's round about that level. We just ever so slightly tapped that naked point of control at 61,573 on my chart. I mean, I'm taking this naked point of control on the daily, and we just got a quick reaction bounce. It's not worth it, guys. If you're scalping and you're getting in and out and you are defensive, then yes. Let it finally fall and finally let it rise. Yeah, correct. I think we just need to find another new base, right? This base seems like it is failing, right? The base is failing, right? We had a speculation base here. It looks like it's failing. Let's just get the move and find a new base where we can find some trading opportunities, right? Let's just get it done with. But I have to give the bulls a chance. Like I mentioned, you know, there is a chance for the bulls. The reason that we've claimed this low right now, oh my goodness, this does not look impulsive at all. With this 3-wave corrective structure to the upside, this is not impulsive, especially coming from this downtrend. Whew. Any bounce from here is very likely going to be bearish, and these lows are going to be claimed at some point in the next coming days, despite any massive bullish bounce. Because this is completely broken. This is completely broken as an impulse, especially with this movement down, taking the lows from last weekend. It's completely broken. So be careful, guys, with the excitement of any big bounce that could happen between today and tomorrow. I do believe that the price will end up rolling down on the higher time frame. It doesn't matter. We are day traders and scalpers. We look for opportunities intraday. We get into longs and shorts, and we look for the opportunities despite the price being bullish or bearish, guys. That is what we do here. especially in the Legends trading community on YouTube. We talk about levels, higher time frame, but the action happens in the Legends trading community, and Mariela can confirm that. 500 likes. Let's go. We can get to 600. Andy, bearish engulfing candle on the 1 hourly time frame. Yes, also, yeah, we had a bearish engulfing candle right over here, but yeah, I really don't pay attention too much on engulfing candles on lower time frames. Yeah, 44k says Shelby. My goodness, will we go down as low? Bullish golfing candle, 44k. Let's get to 60k first, and let's get to sub $60,000 first of all. Then let's talk about, you know, 57k, and once we break some levels, you know, we'll probably talk about 44k. My goodness, that is a very far away number. That's probably not going to be hit in the next coming days or even coming weeks, my man, or maybe not hit at all, right? 58k, I like 58k. I think 58k is very much a high possibility throughout the next coming days even. I do believe that, yeah, 58k is realistic throughout this range. 3-wave move down. 58k, 57k I think is very much a high probability move that could be happening. I confirm Legends trading community is a game changer, not only for amazing setups, but the nice community helping each other. Thanks, Mariela, for the confirmation. I'll send you some Bitcoin later on, right? I'll give you the pay for that shilling. Yeah, we cannot do that eventually. Only from the bottom of your heart. There is a possibility of a leading diagonal formation on the 4-hourly time frame, says Aditya. Leading diagonal, is possibly formation of a leading diagonal on the 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I do think that this could be a very interesting leading diagonal, without a doubt. I do support this scenario. Yeah, I do support this scenario without a doubt. Yeah, for sure. This is why this 3-wave corrective structure down to round about 58, 56k would be very, very interesting. If we form a diamond bottom formation here, then I would really support the diamond bottom, right? I would really say that, guys, this does look like we're going to get a massive big bounce from here. But we need the formation, right? We need to get down there first of all. We need the formation, then we can speculate on different scenarios. Okay, today's shilling was only 5 Bitcoin. I'll send it to you later, Mariela. Thank you very much. I like to watch your show when I trade, says Zevi. Absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. 44k and then after to the moon, says Shelby. 44,000. I do like the idea of, I will only look for like an epic higher time frame swing failure pattern, right? From this low over here, maybe going to $44,000 without a doubt, right? This higher time frame pivot lows have always got a massive bounce, guys. Always. And I need to support the idea that we're still in bullish market structure. We are still in a bull market. And yeah, I do support the idea of, yeah, if we get up to 44k, there's going to be so much buying interest, guys, here. This is why we wick from all of the lows that we have been forming throughout the last few months. Claim a higher time frame low. Yes, baby. You got some people interested in buying this low over here. Same happened here. Same potentially could happen here, right? So 44k and then moon. Absolutely. Very possible. Very possible. 30k loading. Wow. Diamond top of or diamond continuation in 4 hourly time frame. Diamond top or diamond continuation. Yeah. Could be worse. Could be pain link. Wow, BTC US dollar tether on Kraken. You don't want to be trading there. Yeah, I did see Kraken for the last few years that had massive wicks, very, very big wicks. And that was in the past. I don't know what happens now on Kraken, but I remember seeing large wicks of, you know, $10,000, $20,000. Legends. Not much more to be said on the live stream. I've been talking about through different scenarios, different possibilities, levels of interest. I would really be very, very cautious if the price continues dropping down. I don't want to be a bottom catcher. You know what they say about bottom catchers? They have smelly fingers. So I don't want to speculate on anything here. I realize the bearish momentum. When we form a range or we see proof of support and different waves and ranges, we will be speculating on different trading setups, just like we do in the Legends trading community, just like we do every day with the latest successful trades being a day trade long and a day trade short with possible projection to the downside. That is what we do, guys. Right now, I am not comfortable here saying that this is the low. This is a descending wedge. I would rather miss the long and say that I was wrong about the price going to lower levels than actually trying to catch the low and trying to catch these SFPs, just realizing that the momentum just doesn't look quite right, guys, and I am expecting lower levels. Let's take a look at a bit of news before we go. Liquidity's just been swept here. We just had a bit of liquidity. Do we have a little bit more liquidity here below $60,000? There is quite a bit. We do have a lot of liquidity above 66K. We could be fetching that liquidity first to the downside and then to the upside. Very much possible. Let's take a look at a bit of news. Supreme Court allows the US government to sell over 69,000 Bitcoin seized from Silk Road, guys. I used to use Silk Road many times before. Only joking. This is not right. I need to be careful with these jokes. You know, never used Silk Road in my life. But you need to be careful with these jokes, especially when you're doing it online. So overall, there's 69,000 Bitcoin. Supreme Court allows the US government to sell, right? Could there be selling? Could there be selling? I have my mother here in the comment section. She is here in the comment section, and I've been talking about using Silk Road. That is not true, okay? That is false information. Referring to the Tuesday whale transaction highlighted by this guy over here, our own metrics indicate a major spike in dormant activity on Bitcoin network to pair with 37 volume on Tuesday. There's been some insane big movements on chain on Bitcoin happening on Tuesday. And I don't know if this is massive amounts of Bitcoin going to exchanges or moving wallets, but there's been a massive increase on the network, which is disturbing to see, right? We just never know how could that affect anything, right? The price. FTX settles with Caroline. Caroline agrees to forfeit nearly all her assets to FTX creditors as part of the settlement, with hearings scheduled for the 20th of November. We know that there is going to be a massive unlock, right, of a lot of crypto investors that had their funds on FTX and lost a lot of money, right? Some people millions, some people hundreds of thousands, some people tens of thousands. And we know that the investors are getting the money back. There's a speculation that a large sum will go into crypto. I believe so eventually, but this is just some news that I just wanted to point out here. 19,900 BTC worth $987 million have been withdrawn from crypto exchanges over the past week. This is obviously good, supporting the huge amount of decreasing Bitcoin that there is in on exchanges. I shared a chart yesterday, and it's absolutely insane the massive downtrend that we do have on supply of Bitcoin on exchanges. It's been decreasing massively since March of 2020, right? Since we had the C19 crash, bringing a lot of interest in buying Bitcoin on exchanges and withdrawing them. So big supply shock is inevitable at some point, despite any downside that we could have on Bitcoin, right? Doesn't matter. Supply shock, overall higher time frame is bullish eventually, guys. We know that Bitcoin is bullish despite any drops that happen, right, throughout the next coming weeks and months. So yeah, not much more. Pac-Man, Sexy Mods, Pac-Man, thanks for joining. Mariella, Aditya, Zeb, got my mother, hello, much love to you. Singularity, how are you doing, my man? Thank you very much for joining. Not much more to say in this live stream. Thank you very much, everybody. Make sure to join the World Series of Trading. I want you in my team. We're going to be making some noise, and we'll be talking about how we are increasing in P&Ls and what positions are we in. Are we going to end up top 50? Are we going to end up in between top 10? We'll be going through on the live streams, guys, how we are progressing in the World Series of Trading, where there's a $10 million prize pool, and I want you in my team. You still have time for the registration. Make sure to join. You got the direct link down below. And if you don't trade on Bybit already, make sure to sign up with a link also, where you do get a $500 airdrop position for free, where you can keep the profits. You can trade with that. Make sure to sign up, guys, on Bybit. And if you can't sign up on Bybit, you got Bluffin, the second alternative, which is a no KYC platform, and you do get 10% cash back from your initial deposit. Legends, thank you very much for joining. Let's see what happens in the next coming days. The scenarios have been mentioned. Are we going to get a massive pump? I've been talking about some levels. Is this a descending wedge? Is it going to be a massive reversal? There will be other opportunities for shorts, as mentioned. And I would have to say, guys, I missed the long position if this was the low. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.